We're here with the Fishbone Great, the Warren Beats himself, Kevin Willoughby. Kevin, all the way from Bowling Green. How was the ride down there, man? I heard you had a doctor's visit earlier.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was cool. I was nervous. I was running late, but I got hit.
Yeah, nigga, the fuck off, man, with the 40 in your hand, man, just straight slapping.
Yeah, but it's like you too. I mean, I haven't been to the doctor in 10 years myself. Last time I was in the doctor was when I had surgery to remove a cyst on my lower back, and that was 10 years ago. So I guess we have that in common.
Yeah, it was rearing up to be 10 years for me. Damn near it, if not over it.
Yeah.
But I think it was damn near it. And, yeah, it was scary. But it was really well. It went really well. Right. Better than I thought. So.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. That's glad that you have a safe trip. I mean, you had a safe trip. It was a good trip. And also, you know, the doctor didn't say that you have elephantitis of the testicles, because no one wants that, you know.
Yeah.
No, just today, or I guess a couple weeks ago, we had the thing is like, when we started this Oddcast thing, was like, we need to get some cool dudes on here. And I figured that you, being the master of unlocking Kevin Willoughby, would be a very cool person to talk to, speak to. We're very like-minded, I guess.
Yeah. For sure.
You know, we're both considered as being cool. I don't know. Maybe not. You're considered as being cool, laid back, but vicious when you needs to be, and you know, really good at music production and playing the instrument. You know, so.
Totally.
Well, thanks, man.
Because
that's what I've been telling you, man. We need to get some of this shit captured, because you know the shit that escapes my brain, I don't remember what I say half the time, but I would like to think that it was wise, or it wouldn't be worth saying, you know. And, you know, to you guys, I open it wide up, and I'm like, hey, motherfucker, guess what? Here's what I think, you know. And now it's captured for you to hear in the future.
Oh, yeah, I'll totally get that.
Yeah.
Because you're also like in that I guess that mental climate where you do home production.
Yeah.
And a lot of motherfuckers think they have to pay $700 to make their turd sound awesome.
Right. And you know, I put, you know, there's a little money in it, but I started with a turd and I made it smell good at least, you know.
Yeah, of course, man. It's not nearly as much. Let's imagine this, Kevin. Every time you had an idea in your brain, a riff or a beat, in order for you to walk into your room to put that beat or record it or put it on a record, you had to pay some dude $700 just to walk into your own room.
Exactly.
To record your stuff.
That's why I charge people like $20, you know, because it's still a craft, and you know it's time. You know, it does take time, but you know, you could still make, you know, that. And so I know some people that started out in like a little room like that and was like, all right, I'll fucking record your shit and we'll mix your shit. You know, you give me $1,000, like lease these beats for fucking, you know, I don't know, an ungodly amount of money, and I'm like, fuck, I'm making this shit, I got beats rotting on my hard drive, you know, and fucking, I dig it that it's right there, all in home, you know.
Yeah, to me, it's just as homemade as biscuits, or,
like, I don't have to go seek another bedroom to,
right,
you know, get good, or pay crazy prices for a really good studio where I can, you know, do it myself.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying it's there, but it's not absolutely completely necessary. You don't. To me, what I found is bullshit. At least getting our home equipment was microphones. Yeah. I mean, I saw a microphone. I don't know. It was a Vaunheisen, I think. It's a $329 mic, and what's really cool about it. It does have like an oak finish. The mic has an oak finish, like it's kind of like looks like a wooden mic. You know, it's like, you know, it's oak finish. Yeah. But anyways, you don't need a fucking $329 mic to get great sounds out of anything like that SM57 using now. I mean, that's a $100 mic
for sure. I could tell that you could get some like mighty fine sounds out of this motherfucker.
You just point. I think the thing says point at what you want to record. It does it really, really well. I mean, it's just a working man's kind of mic.
Yeah, it's picking up all my breaths and grunts. It's like.
Well, I'm getting that. Like, even with the lower end equipment, with the right mind, it can sound like a fucking Dr. Dre production.
Yeah, it could go a long way, and like save you a lot of grief, you know. But you know, if you have the natural talent, like, you know, I consider you guys to have as well. You know, fucking, you know, you guys inspired me. Like, hey, here's a microphone into a piece of plastic. Put a tape in it, and like I'm like, it sounds like that. You know.
Yeah, right.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty generic, but yeah.
It's. I mean, it's really. It really comes down to what you know, what that first, I don't know, inspiration that you have. I don't know. It sounds a little hokey, but once you see, like he's talking about, like that 4-track recorder or whatever is, or any type of recorder is like, anytime you look at that, it's like that's an empty palette. You know, that could be anything, and you can, like before, only thing you can do is play and sing along, but if you can play, then record your own track, then sing along to it, then put a bass line to it, put your own layers on it. To me, that's a huge step.
Yeah.
That's because all I knew was just like the shit in my head. There's no way I could put layers on it.
I totally understand what you're saying.
I don't know.
And sometimes, you know, now you're like, where are these layers coming from? Like, and it's awesome. It's really cool to tap into, you know, sometimes. To do it all yourself. Do it yourself.
Yeah, to me, it's also the most organic way, dude. Cause there's not some dude staring you down, wasting his time, wasting his money.
Yeah, probably not digging what you're doing, you know.
Right. I mean, I know it's also, that also creates another subgenre of art form. That's why I appreciate people like, I don't know, like, I guess Tupac. I know that sounds generic, but he always like, I don't give a fuck. He stared down the producers and told the shit.
Exactly, yeah.
Fucking, I don't know, see, the greatest example is the Beatles, because they were like, you record albums? Let's record albums differently.
Yeah.
You know? Let's make the album the experience as opposed
to a single.
Yeah.
You know. Or fucking, you know, they'd be like, here's a single, but we'll give you a whole different album of brand new music, you know. That's what I dug about the Beatles in that way, you know. It was awesome.
Their innovations in fucking in recording translates, at least in the psyche of me, and maybe Alan, and you, is just like those tricks that they were using is now what we can do with the equipment that we have.
Yeah.
You know, where this, you know, using just 2 mics to record the drums, or I don't know. To me, the best way to record bass is live. But here lately, it's been thinking straight in is the best.
Yeah.
Just because the gates is awesome, because I have,
and you can get so much that more touch to it, you know.
See, I have new fucking nylon strings. Basically, they're new nylon bass strings.
That's crazy.
And they're fucking clanky as fuck.
Hell yeah.
Like real clanky. But going straight through, you get a gate and fucking, you know, go for it.
Hell yeah. I remember hearing those strings plugged up and them being like a lot more thumpy, if that is the right verb to use, than I would have expected it to.
I just really wish it would have fit on the violin bass, though. My Hofner.
That would have been badass.
Just because apparently this is the most natural way you're supposed to play it, but I don't know. It's like, read that somewhere. But see, the Yamaha, those strings were for like, I don't know, a longer bass, I guess, just because the scale is way different.
Yeah.
The Yamaha BB404's neck is probably, I would say, probably about at least 8 inches longer than the Yamaha fucking neck. So it only fit on there. And the Yamaha's always been a thumpy bass. It's been thump and bright. But the Hofner is just thumpy and low. It's a very, I don't know, to me it's more of like a mid-range kind of bass.
Yeah.
It doesn't really get too low, doesn't really get too bright either. I don't know.
Yeah. You're exactly right with that. It's short and stocky, but holds its own.
And the neck, I just love the neck on that. Because I want to be the first dude to fucking thrash and play metal on the fucking violin bass.
Hell yeah. And it's light as a feather, you know.
Fucking yeah, it's like, I want my Hofner to be jet black with a mirrored pickguard and a mirror tone pot. You know, I think that'd be really cool to have my own signature bass.
Where?
You know.
A Hofner at that.
Because I only know one only motherfucker. You know, it's just like Paul McCartney.
My battery's charged.
Oh, you want me to grab that? I'll grab that for you, sir.
Yeah, if you don't mind. I'm sitting here fiending, fighting the bad demons of nicotine. Well, additives of real cigarettes is actually what I'm fiending.
Feel you. Vaping just only derails the next time until you have a cigarette, but it does eventually help phase them out. I don't know.
Yeah, it helps me a lot, you know. I get weak and use other substances that makes me crave those additives, I guess, in real cigarettes.
Oh, alcohol for sure. I know we're just drinking a little bit of beer right now, but as soon as I get a drink of beer on my tongue, I want to smoke a cigarette. I know people that don't even smoke until they drink something.
Yeah.
They have a drink, then they smoke cigarettes.
Yeah. Like look over at dude and he's like, got a cigarette in his mouth. And you're like, what are you doing smoking? No, and he's holding it off funny and about to drop it. It starts there,
Gosh, yeah, the social smoking, man. That's where it started with me. I don't know.
Well, I've been smoking since I was like 9 years old. That's the crazy part. I remember like Josh Griffdog. Man, this shit tastes weird as hell. Like fucking showed me how to inhale a cigarette, and it was over from there.
Gosh, because up to that point, what you just doing the like coming in your cheeks and blowing it right back out.
I remember when I was 5 years old, I was at my grandma's house, and me and her and my two uncles were on the porch, and they thumped a cigarette out in the yard, and I was like, eyeballing it and shit. And then my uncles was like, "I dare you to go hit that," and I was like, "No, Mama tell on me," and my uncle was like, "Nah, Mom, you won't tell on him, will you?" And she's like, no, go hit it. It was a test, And my little dumb ass walked out there in the middle of the yard, 5 years old, and was like, cool.
Oh, shit.
And then fucking 3:30 comes, and my mom rolls up, and the first thing my mama does, Kevin fucking grabbed a cigarette out of the yard and took a puff off of it.
Like immediately just right.
Like he knows what he should have been doing. He knew what he should have done. And it was the truth. But as a 5-year-old little kid, it was cool. It taught me a lesson.
Can you remember the brand of cigarette that it was, or was it a full flavor or menthol? I guess all.
It was a full flavor.
That's good.
Hell yeah, probably a basic.
Probably. Damn, dude. It's like I didn't smoke a cigarette till I was like fucking 20 or something. I was 20 years of age.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I just never did it. Well, I was 15 years older than you.
Well, I started.
He's 5.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's when I had my first puff. I started like smoking by the pack. I guess when I was like 14. I remember I was grounded, and I would walk and meet Chris Thompson. Chris would hit me up and be like, "Hey, fucking, I'm going to the pond," or I'd call him and be like, "I'm going to the pond." And we'd go to this little pond down the railroad tracks that we knew damn well there wasn't no fish in there, but we'd just go down there and fucking hang out and smoke cigarettes, And I was trying to sneak around like the woods and shit, like sneak behind my aunt's house. It's doing no good fucking explaining it unless you know where I'm talking about.
So is it you and Chris is tracking far away to get away from?
Yeah, he would walk from his house, and I would walk from my house on the railroad tracks. We'd meet on the railroad tracks, and I was grounded that week though. That was the thing. I was trying to. My dad was around back, in the garden spot, doing something, and then I was like, I'm gonna walk behind my aunt's house and then hit the road, and then I'll hit the railroad tracks, and then I start going up the hill to my aunt's house, and the dogs start barking, and then fucking my dad's like, "Worm, what the fuck, you get down here now, motherfucker," and I go down there, and he's like, "I know what you're doing." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "You're going up in the woods and smoking them goddamn cigarettes." And I'm like, "Nah, man, I was going to meet Chris down the railroad tracks." And it's like, "Nah, fucking, I'd rather you smoke in front of me than fucking burn the woods down or track mud all up in the house." And I was like, "All right, then. Well, cool. I'll smoke in front of you then.
Oh wow.
It was weird. And he's like, "Support your own habit. Support your own habit." And I did. I kept that in mind. But then the next day, he's like, "I found these 3 cigarettes in my garage. Here you go."
I was about to say,
he's
man.
cool. He's cool like that.
But I don't know if this is a very rarely talked about subject, but that feeling when you first smoke in front of your parents. Did that not feel,
even when he said it was cool,
it was still like
it took a while. Wrong. I would still like grab my smokes and like go around in front of the garage or sneak off and smoke. It still felt weird forever. Now I'm just like, I'm like, "Mom, I got an e-cig," and she's like, "Well, good." And I made her hit it earlier, and it was hilarious. Yeah, no, she was like,
Oh shit.
Yeah. It was something serious.
Because man, even if you smoked, you're a seasoned veteran of smoking cigarettes. The first hit of those will rock your shit.
Hell yeah. I had a dude at work the other day, my buddy Nick, walked up and, I was doing my job. I didn't know what he was doing. He fucking I just seen him turn around. I think I seen him checking it out. The next thing I know, I turned around doing my shit on the computer and I fucking hear like he just took a big bong rip or some shit.
Damn.
He's like, God damn.
Gosh, man, I'm not saying you could, but if there's one object you could possibly overdose on nicotine, it would probably be one of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I coughed my head off the first. It's shit's for real. It's nowhere near the real deal.
No, it fixed the craving, so.
Yeah, I was waiting for something to fuck these up too. I know they're already thinking about putting taxes on them or whatever.
I heard they were banning them in Cali and New York and shit.
Of course, those will be the first two fucking states to do it. Just because they're
why?
So. I don't know. In San Francisco, they're gay. In New York, they're fucking assholes.
You fucking asshole.
You're the first one to put you gotta be okay. Say if you live in New York, you have to be in Alberta, Canada, to smoke a cigarette outside of a bar there. So you have to be so many feet away from any building with a smoke.
Yeah, it's illegal to smoke outside in New York, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yes. Because it's so everyone. Because think about how compacted New York is too.
Right. But still.
But fuck them, man. It's your American right. Your American right is to have guns, drink beer,
and smoke fucking cigarettes.
Yes.
Tobacco.
And buy whores legally at shady states, like Reno. Not Reno, but fucking Vegas. Somewhere in Vegas.
Yeah.
Or
legal whores.
They're there. Fucking brothels. That's whew.
That's weird. But, I guess
money,
they're going going about it the right way.
But yeah, this is a fucking America, dude. You should be able to smoke cigarettes anywhere. It's like
never.
Fuck that.
The president smokes.
Yes, he does. He does. He does. And also, he's on legal meth, like some type of Adderall too. And that's a known fact.
Is he on Adderall?
Yeah, well, hear me out on this, man. Okay. Most presidents have a physician that keeps them alert. And one of the things the early version of it was with JFK, they basically just used meth on him. Because it's such, that process was new to stay alert.
Yeah.
But now it's evolved to a form of Adderall now that Obama uses to stay alert, to stay, speaking well, like having a Tourette syndrome with America.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird to think about that. Our president right now is, basically a legal meth.
Geetered on Adderall. Some capsules say amphetamine on the capsule and 20 milligrams.
Damn.
Yeah. Amphetamine.
Shit.
Think about that. And it's Adderall.
What is it? Is it like meth without anhydrous? Is some
made,
Breaking Bad shit going on here,
it's
man?
It's made in a pharmacy. Same exact thing.
Switching gears a little bit. What's the latest fishbone worm productions coming up here in the next couple of weeks? Or do you have some previously?
If my boy Dirty B will stay his ass out of trouble long enough, we're working on this Worm Beats Dirty B EP, which will be a collective of us, probably 4 or 5 tracks and a couple of our solo tracks, just compiled together on a little EP.
Fucking A. Both of you guys are very talented dudes.
Yeah, I think my lady, Sarah Ann's, going to shoot some photos this weekend while we were recording said EP. We're finishing it up.
We'll have his own snapshots for every verse, I guess.
Yeah, we should have a big.
Should be a lot of middle fingers being thrown up.
Oh yeah, they're always thrown up on accident half the time. But yeah, hoping to get that finished, and then of course we have our old shit that just never got released for the Fishbone EP. We have cases and shit for them, but
to me it looked like craft beer's 4-pack cases. Yeah. Like you can fold them and make 6-packs or 4-packs out of them.
It's pretty dope. So, but hopefully that'll see the light of day one day. But shit changes and people change and do things that will make shit never be. The same.
Absolutely true. I mean, because it's all that's what the Stiff Archives has been 100% about, is getting all of our old stuff, because we have decades basically of music.
Yeah,
just sitting, but we just haven't uploaded yet. And
Right.
I'm sure, like, also with your production, there's so much shit that you've done that hasn't really actually made it to the net yet.
Yeah. There's a lot, like some shit like Mugwump.
I remember
do you
Mugwump.
Mugwump? Yeah,
I remember Mugwump.
I think we
dude.
played one show. Yeah, it was at the Midland Community Center, and that was the night I went to jail.
I remember that.
Played one
Remember that
show,
show.
and there's still an album. I have all the sessions. I could probably mix them now that I have a fucking hefty computer. Actually, I have all the
Shit.
separate tracks. I might mix up a Mugwump album.
Wasn't that a sad show though? That Midland show.
Yeah, it sucked.
Because it really did show the state of the music scene at that
Yeah,
time.
it was like the funeral. I
Yeah.
take it as.
It was like a wake. I just remember we played with it was a Post Effect, but it was Mad Muscle Dog. Mad Muscle Dog was a drummer. Shit, I feel like an asshole forgetting his name right now, man.
Oh,
He also played in a couple bands with Josh. I think he also might have been a Daisy Casket drummer for a while.
oh yeah, you're talking about old Goldberg.
Yeah.
Goldberg.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan.
Yeah. I was gonna kill. He said his real name. Damn it.
Sorry.
Well, let's just keep it as Goldberg and Mount Muscle Dog. But he was our drummer then during that time period,
Weird.
and it was an awful show. It was a death rattle of the music scene.
Oh, Alan Orange is a.
Let's take a commercial break for 1 second. But yeah, Mugwump came in at the death rattle of the music scene in Millburg County. The Midland Community Center show was a sad sight.
Yeah, it was weird. I remember drinking Bud Light and Keystone Light.
There was alcohol. That's the first show ever played drunk, actually. was the
Yeah,
Midland
I
show.
was pretty drunk. Well, no, I wasn't drunk. I know I shotgunned a few beers because it was the big day to play the had that kind of same excitement that I used to when we played shows at like the school or like the Dearest Community Center or the Ag Center.
The Ag Center is the best, man.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, but as far as the local venue, there's always the best.
Yeah. And those had died by then.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why we were out in Midland, out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Just in case anyone listening to this, the story with the Ag Center is a couple of, I don't know, I wouldn't say just a couple, a collective amount of people fucked up the Ag Center itself. So we couldn't play there anymore. And that's the short and the long of it. Go ahead.
Them damn kids, boy. I lost my fucking space cigarette. Oh, there it is. In my fucking pocket. Anyway. But yeah, the Midland show. That was Mugwump's first show, which was my first band I had that I fronted, sang and wrote and played guitar.
Because you were always the
lead
shredder
man,
with was Tal. Well, no, Some Zombies Run, man.
Yeah, Some Zombies Run and Daisy Casket.
That was the jams.
Yeah.
Remember those.
Hell yeah.
Because I remember when Some Zombies Run and ETR at the time, when we played a show, it was just like, we was representing the whole Drexboro.
Yeah.
And, and Cleveland side of music, as opposed to everyone else being from Central City and Greenville or whatever.
Yeah. Right. And playing stupid music.
Oh, yeah.
That I hated, but like, I don't know. I like heavier hardcore. I don't like hardcore music that they were playing. I'm sorry.
You can say it, man. It's opinion.
I didn't like it. It sucked at the time. I thought it was pointless and talentless, chug hoop-de woo. But now I listen to like real metal.
I feel you.
know.
But see, I used to be on the hate train. Even during that time, I was on the hate train of the chuggy straight edge hardcore music or whatever. But now, I mean, even a little bit after that, not that long, I realized that that's what they really like to play, and who am I to judge?
They were doing, yeah.
And
exactly.
but I don't have to like it.
Yeah.
But now I get it. It's like they're just doing like what we were doing.
Yeah, what we were doing. Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure they thought the same about us. And like most of those guys and all those bands were really good friends of ours.
Yeah. Yeah. Bob Casey was their fucking drummer, man. He's the one who got us off the ground to do this shit live.
I went to church with him and Josh. Me and Josh used to ride mongooses back in the day of the wild young Josh Casey, Kevin Willoughby.
Is that the plural of mongoose.
Yeah,
It's
a couple
mongoose.
mongoose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Josh Casey riding on a couple mongoose. Yeah.
Make your mind freeze with the monkeys. I don't know.
Hell yeah. But yeah, what was he talking about? Oh yeah, the Midland show. It died. That was the death of it. It was like you said earlier, like the wake of it all. And I went to jail that night.
Yeah, explain this. Explain this. I mean, I was thoroughly fucked up that show. I just remember talking about. I got on the mic before we played Dirt. I said, "Don't you know the same mucus that's in your nose is in your pussy?"
Oh damn.
You know, it's like that's not my normal stage banter. Usually, it's like, "Hey, how's everyone doing?"
Yeah.
Tell a joke, then play.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
what
crazy.
happened there? What?
And it was a great night. First bachelor party I ever went to. The first keg I've ever drank out of. And I first get there, you know, we leave. I leave the fucking community center half lit up, you know, drinking fucking. I brought like 4 Bud Lights. I found Bud Lights.
Not a fan of Bud Lights, but
Me
they were
either.
beer at the time, though.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, gotta bring some beer before the show because I thought it was cool to drink every day, which is cool.
Hey,
still, but
yay.
Anyway,
Drink beer every day.
I fucking goddamn, I can't remember shit. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Jason Burnett gave me a fucking Keystone Light as well. And anyway, I was half lit up. Left the fucking community center. Popped up in the middle of nowhere. Fucking, you know, out by TVA in the middle of the woods. You know, my uncle lives back there in like a little camper to this day. And I show up and I had no idea where we were going, but I knew the peoples that lived there. And I didn't know it was that spot that my uncle was staying at. So I ran into my uncle and I was like, "Hey, what up?" You know, and he's like, "You ready to fucking drink some beer?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And I seen the keg and was like, "Hell yeah!" And, you know, drink a couple cups and shit. And then this like one bitch was there, and like she was like the only stripper, like only chick there, and she was the stripper. You know, quote unquote.
I mean, sometimes budgetary reasons ruins bachelor parties.
Yeah, and this is. No.
What year was that, by the way? Shit.
Fuck, I don't know.
Was that 2007, maybe? 8? I don't know.
Yeah, a couple years ago. Anyway, she wasn't really a stripper. It was like the only female there. Full of drunk guys, you know.
Oh.
And, you know, I didn't see...
This is my bitch. Everyone knows it's off limits. So,
yeah, I didn't see any money exchange or anything. Well, then again, I've never been to a strip club, so technically I don't know what strippers are. But anyway...
Strip clubs are funny. To me, I think they're funny. Go ahead.
Anyway, she did like a 46-second keg stand. And everybody's like, "Shit, damn, oh, damn." And, you know, something came up, like, if somebody could beat it, can we see your titties? You know, and she's like, "Yeah." And then everybody's like, oh shit, you know, Shane, get up there. Like, you know, somebody get up there and do it. And I go up to my boy, and I'm like, "Hey, man, I ain't never did a keg stand before. I ain't never. It's the
I
first time
still
I
haven't. Well, actually, no, I've done 2, but
Word.
I'm not versed in it at all.
And he laughs, and he's like, "Hey, Shane, fucking Willoughby's never done a keg stand before." And he's like, "Oh shit, Willoughby can do it." And they fucking throw me up there, and I get like 20, I think it was like 25 seconds or 22 seconds, something, you know, in the 20s. And I come down, and everybody's like, "Oh damn, oh shit." And I'm like, "Hey, I got like half the time. Can I at least see one titty?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then fucking like whips out one titty, and like everybody's like, "Yeah."
Wait. I have 2 things to say about that, man. It's
Okay.
like, A, you gotta trust the people doing the cake stand with you because they're holding you up, man. And B, wow, she had to be a stingy stripper to be like, "Oh, here," but you did get your titties worth though, right?
Yeah, I got one titty's worth.
Because you know, to me, I always see it's like $1 would get you a set of titties, you know, titties in your face.
Yeah.
So you got 50 cents worth and 20 seconds worth of a cake stand.
Yeah, I got
And a titty.
Yeah,
So,
and a titty.
you know, you didn't lose out that day at all.
No, it was great, you know. But then, you know,
But once
The
you got
keg.
over your first keg stand, wasn't you like, "Oh, this is too much. This is too much work, man." It's like,
yeah,
what the
it was.
fuck?
It's pointless. I don't think I've done one ever since. Well, I probably did one since then. I think I was dressed up as Charlie Manson. That's a
Oh.
whole nother story.
Oh, I do remember that period though. I wasn't there, but I've heard about it. It's a good story, very good story.
Anyway, later on during the night, that keg got empty, and everybody, started getting all fucking emotional and drunk and starting shit. And one thing led to another, and the bachelor himself ended up like getting into it with, I think, his dad or somebody. I don't even want to go into the details. Needless to say, the owner of the house, the old man in the house, started popping fucking fire in the air, warning shots, if you will, to break the shit up and,
That's how I would do it.
go to bed and get off my land.
I would totally do it that way too.
2 shots in the air. He wasn't even out there the whole party. He was inside, sleeping probably, or something. He heard all the ruckus and popped 2 shots in the air. So me and dude that was once cool, man, back in the day, was like, let's get the fuck out of here. And then we hop in the car and, we leave. We get halfway home and our buddy calls and he's like, dude, I got work the next day. Y'all left me. And we was like, we told you to get in the car. And he's like, oh, man, like, the bachelor's missing, like, if it was you guys, you would want, me to fucking, we're like, yeah, whatever, fucking, we'll come back and get you. Go back to get him. We get halfway to a dude's house and get pulled over. And I was 19, and they got me out of the car. And yeah, I shouldn't have got out of the car. But once I was out of the car, they was like, oh, you've been drinking? You're 19? You're going to jail.
Oh, instantly. That's the instant. But see, isn't it, it's kind of like someone asking you, it's like a question, being like, you know what my favorite color is? And they go, blue.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of blindside you with it. That's what I'm saying. They kind of blindside you. It's like their instant answers. Like, they pretty much know you're going to get out of the car. If you're a young person, it took me a little while to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do shit. But at the same time, you don't want the policeman to give you shit because here's a stranger. This, at face value, he's a stranger you don't know.
Yeah.
And he has a gun.
Exactly. And pepper spray and a fucking stick that he can beat the fuck out of you with.
The situation immediately becomes unnatural.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
Oh, shit. I mean, it took me a few times to get used to that situation. But being drunk also, and being that young, I mean, it's not like you knew exactly what to do. But how was the situation after that? I mean, what do you do? Do you give you a speech about how you should be doing this? Or
no, the cop that arrested me actually gave me like pointers. He was like, say, the legal limit is 0.8, and he said look at a beer as 0.2 within like an hour or something. Some weird like cop mathematics. He was like trying to be cool cop then. Like,
oh yeah, because
if you're gonna get out and drive, and you're drinking beer, drink 2 and you got 0.2 on your breath, which is not correct. I'm scientifically
no, I really don't.
Sure.
That's police arithmetic. He just made up. Right
he told us that on the way to jail. Drink 4 and wait about an hour or something. Something weird like that. Next time. And then I get to jail, and the crazy part is, like, we passed my lady's dad's house on the way.
Oh, man. Oh.
Before we had to turn around or something.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, on the way back, the second time we, went and got dude, when we got dude the second time back, past my old lady's dad's house, I seen that he was still awake. I was like, man, he's in there, like, chilling. I could just like get out here.
I know. See, plus you wasn't driving.
No, I was riding.
It seems like if I was, I don't know, as a cop, I guess this could morally go 2 ways. One way is you teach these boys a lesson, or B was like, I was that age once.
Yeah.
I'll take someone home, or I wouldn't put someone through the system over something like that, especially if he wasn't driving.
Yeah, and like I could have easily, before I got out of the car, I could have said, no, sir, I'm going to call somebody. Legally, he couldn't drag me out of the car.
Yeah.
And I could have got out of that car and gotten another car. That's
but,
what.
Yeah, once you step out, though, on the side of the road.
Yeah, they can be a dick like they were. And took me to jail. But then, I don't know. It was crazy. It was a weird experience.
How was that talk with the parents? Like, oh.
Oh, the next morning, man. It was a Sunday morning, and like I think my mom was actually like getting ready to go to church or something. You know, they fucking give me my phone back like in a plastic bag. Luckily, I had my phone charger on me, and I plug it up right.
That never
there.
happens. That's awesome though. Good
Yeah.
for you, man.
My phone was dead, and luckily I had my charger, and I plugged it in the wall like right there in front of the drunk tank, and called my mom, and I was like, "Mom, you're gonna have to come get me. I am in jail." She's like, "Oh, Mom, Kevin Allen, what the hell did you do?" And I'm like, I got, they pulled me over, give me an AI. Like, I'm getting out now. Like, come get me. And had to give my buddy a ride home, and I was like, "Don't worry, it ain't his fault," you know, because me and him have gotten in some past mishaps, never, you know, going to jail or anything.
Right.
I
Nothing
was
that
like, "Don't worry." And
serious.
she's
Never.
like, "Oh, all right." And it turns out it was that dude's fault that was driving because he's irresponsible.
Good. I mean, I'm not calling him out, but fuck him for ruining the perfect espionage.
Exactly.
You guys were
like,
making
we were
it.
almost there. Like, we were gonna get back and fucking smoked a little crumb of weed I had.
Damn.
And go to sleep. You know, eat something and go to sleep.
Gosh, man. Luckily, I dodged a few bullets in my time of being. But see, I've never drunk. I started drinking when I was 21, so it was never that fear.
Yeah.
This the people that I was with. Say your driver, you know how he fucked up.
Mm.
This the people that I was with. I knew would fuck it up for me.
Word.
It's like that's the closest I've been like in serious trouble. I just couldn't imagine that first call of calling your parents, telling me like, I'm in jail.
Yeah.
Come pick me up. Even though that's nothing to a lot of people, but if you're a very low key,
Yeah, good guy that didn't deserve to go to jail in the first place. That's
right, and you make sure you don't blabber your mouth about all the things that you do,
right.
because that's one way to get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basically, if you're Gus Fring or Walter White in your shit,
Yeah.
it just pisses me off when someone gets busted like that, man. Because there's no point.
Yeah.
Nothing was learned. I mean, it was strictly just for local tax dollars
Yeah.
and for that dude to fill a quota.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Like, you shouldn't drink and drive, but I wasn't drinking and driving.
You was this in the back seat.
Yeah, I was in shotgun.
Oh, you was shotgun. Well, still okay, shotgun.
I hid my weed under the back seat.
See, that's an hey. Hey.
But yeah.
But see, most of the time, like
Don't.
even what?
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say, just don't ride with people that are
Not on the
drunk.
level.
Yeah, or like if you don't have tail lights and you've been drinking, don't drive. if your tags are bad and you've been drinking, don't drive. If you don't have insurance and you've been drinking, don't drive. If you have all three of those and you've been drinking,
Think about it.
you know what I'm gonna say.
Yes.
And that's what happened that night.
Shit, dude.
But yeah, never again.
You got the shakedown just for being at your buddy's. You only got one titty that night, too.
Yeah,
That's what
one
makes
titty.
it worse. That's what makes it worse.
I went to jail for one titty. And then I get to the cell, and I'm crammed up in the toilet in the fucking Muhlenberg County drunk tank. I think it's built for like one person. And I counted 9 motherfuckers in there. Seriously, I'm like, right, like cuddled up with the toilet, you know. And there's this big dude, like sitting in the corner. He's just sitting there with his eyes open, and everybody else is asleep. And then he's, you know, I lay in there for, I guess it's about an hour or two. And then, policeman like gives us our breakfast. You know, he opens up the door, gives us all a breakfast plate, and he's like, "Hey, did you?" To the guy in the corner, he was like, "Did you just wake up, or did you, you know, have you even been to sleep yet?" And he's like, "I ain't been to sleep yet. I need sex to sleep." And then like, I'm like,
damn.
"What the fuck?"
That's a good one-liner, though, right?
Yeah,
I would
it
totally
was
use that.
hilarious. And the cop goes, "Ha, better be sleeping on your backs tonight, boys," and shuts the door.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and I'm like, here I am, in the fucking drunk tank with
Yeah, you're
8 other motherfuckers.
You're a newbie, too, man.
Yeah, the
This
first
is-
time by a toilet, and this big guy's over here like, I need sex to sleep, and the cop thinks it's hilarious.
Oh, like, he's going to let it happen. It's like, he'll let some sodomy go down in the drunk tank.
Yeah.
But see, to me, what's the logic of putting a whole bunch of drunk dudes in a small area with one toilet?
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point of that?
I mean, that's the only place they have, I imagine. Well, there's 9 of them tonight.
Yes. Yeah, some dude's eating his fucking tuna fish sandwich or some whatever his fucking wife's fat of a diet is that week, and he's just eating that sandwich and just listening to dude's butt fuck in the drunk tank. It's just like he promoted it pretty much. It's like, fuck that guy, man. He wanted it to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, some people can't sleep without jerking off.
That's weird.
I mean, it does. Hey,
it helps.
It does, man.
Yeah.
It's like taking a Tylenol PM, man.
Yeah.
It's like dropping a load in a sock. Or during the early days, we put one on like your fucking midriff and on your chest, because he's laying down like, shit. My early loads were the most explosive, badass loads. My loads now are just at like 9, but like in 6th grade, my loads were like fucking BB guns, man. It's just fucking
shooting the ceiling and shit.
It'd be a slight discomfort if you got hit by it. It's like, damn, what the fuck?
Get popped with a rubber band.
Yes. Is there any type of science or any type of like equation to determine the speed and velocity of your loads as you get older? That's something I'd like to know about. I guess it all depends on your prostate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Switching gears a little bit. Alan and I guess me and my brother Alan, we have been doing the video game Hot Sauce, which is a video game series where we take games and kind of riff on them a little bit like Mr. Science Theater, but at the same time, we really love these games, but I guess only lovers can make the best jokes. And I know the first 2 episodes that we did were mainly for us, but we really want to do it with more people. I know Andrew Daughtery is on board. He wants to do one. Kevin Kamer wants to do one with us. I'm hoping to do it with more homies, more cool people, such as, I don't know, I wish I can get Brett McDowell out of his hole to do some stuff.
Bert.
Because he was our lead guitar player for the longest time. Him and Alan trade leads, and he was always a very nice musician. I figured he's a well-versed humanitarian. He would do that, but I highly doubt it. A lot of people like to do a video game Hot Sauce.
Hot sauce.
Video game Hot Sauce.
Hot sauce.
But just to throw it out there, just message us on Facebook or leave a comment in this oddcast. We're going to take a small break. We got to find a lighter.
Yeah, we got to find a lighter.